There are several applications of percents that I'm going to go through with you. The first is sales tax. So of course, to find sales tax, we would take whatever the tax rate is multiplied by the cost of our item, and that would give us how much we're paying in sales tax. Now, I caution you to be very careful whenever you're doing a question like this, and this is for really all of them in this section, that when you find that, when you're using this, it's not going to give you the total cost. So if they're asking for total cost, you either use this to find the sales tax and then add it to your original price, because of course sales tax would increase your cost. If you don't like that way and want to do it all streamlined in one equation, you can take 1 plus your tax rate as a decimal. So if your tax rate was, say, 5%, here I would write it as 0.05. Here I would write it as 1 plus 0.05, which of course would be 1.05. And that would include the cost. So multiplying it by that 1.05 means that that cost would be included. So let's take a look. I'm purchasing a television for $650 and the tax rate in the city is 5%. So how much sales tax am I paying? I would take my whole amount times my tax rate, which is 0.05. I think in my equation before I had them switched around, but it doesn't matter. And I would simply multiply the two. That would give me 32.5, which means that I have paid $32.50 in sales tax. Now, what's the total cost of my television? I have two choices. I take the $650, which is the cost of the TV, plus the $32.50, which is the cost of the tax, and add them together. And of course, if I have to do a question like A, then this is the easier way because I already know what the sales tax is. So total, I would be paying $682.50. Now, let's say I didn't have to find part A and they just simply said, how much are you paying? Then I would take 650 times 1.05, which is of course my 0.05 plus 1. And if I do that all in one step, I get 682.5 or $682.50. Here's a question for you to try on your own. So give it a shot, then press play to see how you did. You are purchasing a new Prius and you know the price and the sales tax, but you don't know what rate you paid. So your job is to determine what is your sales tax rate. So I know that if I take the cost, which is $24.2, and I multiply it by my sales tax rate, which I'm going to call X, that should give me my sales tax of $1,331. So to find out what X is, I'm simply going to divide each side by 24,200. And when I divide, I get 0.055. Now I'm trying to find the sales tax rate, so I know that that's going to be a percent, which means X is 5.5%. I moved that 2 places to the right to turn that decimal into a percent.